What's up, good people? We back in the building. Y'all saw the title, so y'all know what's going on here. Y'all know what's going down. We'll be talking about the viral phenomenon, not just the video that's going viral, but the viral phenomenon of Kevin Samuels himself. For those of you that's been watching my show for a while, you know there was a moment when Kevin Samuels, when he was on the rise, so to speak. There was a moment when he was more or less, I won't say a regular on my show, but semi-regular. You know, he would drop by once a week or so, sometimes twice a week, and that was cool. That was cool because a lot of people would email me, would say, "Hey, I really like when you got Obsidian and Kevin Samuels on your show, and you moderate the discussion, and they're going back and forth, they're bouncing off ideas and talking and saying this and saying that." They would talk about how they really liked the show, when that was going on with the show. So, I had a close look, was watching closely during the I'll just say the rise of Kevin Samuels. I had a close look at it. A lot of people say I copied his style on some things, which may be halfway true, halfway not true, because I do got evidence on the record that before he blew up, I said that this was my goal, to be on camera kind of fresh with a suit. And I said kind of fresh because I ain't all the way fresh, but I get there. I'm working on it. But once again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming on in. See, people already have made it in the building. Make sure you hit that like button. We about to get this thing started. Got to roll the intro. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know how it worked. The intro about 2.5 minutes long. If you're new in the building, about 2.5 minutes long. So let's go ahead and get it. Let's get started. Let's go.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
What's up, good people? Welcome back to the show. About to get this thing started. I'd like to thank everybody who's made it in already bright and early. Make sure you hit that like button when you come on in. Let people know that you're here. I alluded to early on how there was a moment when Kevin Samuels was a semi-regular on my show, but ever since his meteoric rise, I've made it a point not to, if he came up organically, we'll talk about him, but I made it a point not to just do official videos on him. I don't know. I can't even explain why, because it's really a good idea to do that. To go ahead, put his name and thumbnail, and naming your title and thumbnail on your picture on your thumbnail is actually a good idea to do that. But for some reason, I've refrained from doing that, but I decided to do it today. He's going to a whole nother level, a whole nother universe. I don't know the exact numbers. I do know that he picked up roughly, I don't know the exact numbers, but I just remember the last time I looked before he just went viral again, he had roughly 130,000 subs. Last I checked, he's at 180,000. So there's that. Kill Deuce in the building. He says men should move like Kevin, be a power broker, not this head ninja in charge. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of layers to what you said there, but I think I understand your general point, and I'm with you. So Provider said something that caught my eye, and it'll be a small part of what I'm talking about today. So Provider speaks. Shout out to him. Me and him did a really good one-on-one that did end up turning into Ninja Tube, but we had like 2 hours and we chopped it up pretty good or whatever. But it was a good show. And I got you. I just recently read your email where you send me an email sometime after the show. But yeah, definitely you're welcome, man. We'll definitely do it again. Definitely enjoyed you and want to see you grow in this space, man. So shout out to you, Soul Provider. He says the women support him. The men had a chance but didn't support him like that. So let him get his bag. You're not entirely correct. And that's something that I do want to talk about his rise, because it's a very unique rise. Yes, an influx of women has come into his show. They are in the audience. But if you sit there and watch the super chats, it's mostly men. It's mostly men supporting him. That much can't be denied. The people who drop what I call the heavy-handed super chats, $50 or up, those are mostly men. Almost exclusively men. It's a few women that might drop 5 here, 10 there, but no, he's backed by men. Now, how much of his live show audience is women? I don't know. Just at a snapshot, just looking at it in a glance as it's scrolling up, it seems it's as close to 50-50 as you're going to get with his type of content. And speaking of his type of content is extremely unique. Extremely unique. It's hard to even put your finger on it. I mean, at face value, it does seem like a man doing a show for women. But why are so many men there? Why are so many men supporting it? A lot of people will say, okay, well, the men are there just because the women are there. But then how do you explain the men who just sit in the audience and just sit back and chill and watch? I mean, the guy who's chatting every 5 minutes, the guy who, might drop $100 super chat on some, hey, look at me, I got money, hey, ladies, it's some of that going on. There's some of that going on. And I say, so what, whatever, but there's some of that going on. No doubt about that. But for the most part, what you see is guys who just genuinely enjoy the show. And there's an aspect of the show, or the huge aspect of the show is this relationship advice for women. Now, the more harsh elements of it go viral, and I think women do need some harsh truth. And the manosphere has been giving women a lot of harsh truth. So rather they have come to Kevin Samuels' doorstep for that harsh truth, or he's brought that harsh truth to their doorstep, it's hard to put your finger on it when you have that interesting cocktail of content that he has going on, where a man is running a show talking about where he, how to get a high value man is one of the reoccurring themes in the show. But as I've said before, in passing, the secret sauce is that when they call in, quite often they'll find out that they don't qualify for one. And truth be told, I think a lot of male dating coaches, not all of them, and I'm not saying no names, and I can't say names because I don't know for sure who does it, how much, and to what degree. So I can't say exactly on that. However, what I can say what I absolutely can say is that there's dating coaches, male dating coaches for men, who will kind of talk about the game, kind of will lure guys in with the possibility of getting one of those bad chicks that you haven't been able to get, that won't look your way, but you know they sell it as they got the tools to help you get the women that you can't get. But reality is, when they lure you in, I think they do, and Game Changer kind of did some good work on this. When they lure you in, they essentially just get you to accept the women that you qualify for, which is cool. You know, you're allowed to shoot to the moon. You're allowed to swing for the fences, shoot to the stars, shoot for the stars. I mean, yes, you're definitely allowed to do that. But reality is reality. The market will choose. And if the market has chosen that, hey, the market dictates that you're an average guy, women view you as an average guy, you're going to end up dealing with average or slightly below average women, or you might get lucky, get a slightly above average women. You're going to fall somewhere in that range, give or take a number of values. There's some nights where you know, sometimes you may overachieve, some days, sometimes you may overachieve, but overall, it's going to be a bell. If you drew up a bell curve of the type of women that you dealt with, you will notice a certain amount in the middle that you tend to end up with, and that's fine, and that's reality. And men have to accept that reality. We have no choice but to accept that reality, because accepting that reality or not accepting that reality makes the difference between us having a sex life or not having a sex life. And seeing as we all really want a sex life real bad, we are forced to accept that reality. And we do it all the time. Thus, we have phrases in the lexicon where, you know, would you hit that? Nobody was talking about attractive women when they said, yo, would you hit that? No, they were talking about a suspect woman. They were talking about an average, or they're talking about a below average looking woman, or flat out ugly woman that had a decent body. Damn, she ugly. But would you hit that though? I don't know. She got little eyes back there. I don't know. You know, that's so it's built into the DNA of our conversations that we're going to lower our standards. So if we're a group of people who lower our standards in pursuit of sex, then quite naturally, men are lined right up to accept whatever it is that they can get from the market. Now, there's some difference in the guys who have an understanding. Wait, if I could possibly get better from the market if I corrected A, B, C, and D, you know. And that may manifest itself in you know, doing some self-improvement. I guess I got to shout out C Boogie, but doing some self-improvement or being more productive. Your dating choices can become global, you know. But for the most part, where you live, where you at, that's where you stand, that's where you fight, and the market dictates where you're at. And men generally accept where they're at because most men are not willing to basically be virgins until they finally get a Victoria's Secret model. Take that and juxtapose it with the world of female dating coaching. Dating coaching for females. It's whatever you want. You can get whatever you want if you just they practically telling them to click their heels together 3 times and say there's no place like home. Like it's been no honesty in that field, in that market. No honesty in that field or in that market at all. Just a constant pandering of telling them what they want to hear. Derek Jackson himself, and I believe either his most recent or his second most recent video. I'm not going to play it. I thought about it, but I'm not going to play it. His second most recent video, he said something that he always says, how there's practically a pandemic of overqualified women. Overqualified. And what we saw in the Kevin Samuels video that I wasn't going to play because I know you already seen it, but some of y'all probably want to see my quick live reaction to it. So I guess I will go ahead and play a part of it in a little bit. or maybe all of it in a little bit. But it's really not that much to say, because Kevin Samuels basically broke down everything that was wrong. He was basically saying, yes, you're average. You're going to get an average guy. Everybody is just skipping that whole flight of stairs and saying that he's just said, you're going to die alone. But just like I described with the guys, if you're just an average or below average guy holding out for a Victoria's Secret model, yeah, you're probably going to die a virgin. Nowhere in the dating coach, relationship consultant, whatever we're calling it, nowhere in that field, that arena, have there ever been a man anywhere in any way, shape, or form who gave women the flat out solid truth that this is what you qualify for. Yes, it's possible you might get lucky. It's possible that because you make 120,000, so therefore you've calculated that you need a man that make 150,000. It's possible, very possible, you may get that guy. It's very possible that you may be average looking and get that guy that makes 150,000. It's very possible that you may be average looking and a middle-aged baby mama with a 13-year-old child and a sketchy baby daddy, and you still may get some single 35 to 40-year-old guy who makes 150,000. That's possible, but I love how he breaks down that 10%. 10% of men in this country make over 100,000. 10%. So, and if you adjust that for race, we're down to about 4% if somebody's talking about dealing with only black men. But even if we work with that 10%, then we got to shave off those that are married. And then the women got to be attracted to them. Then they got to connect, and they got to be on the same page, and they got to this, and they got to that. She just dropped her mating pool down to 1%, a generous 1%. So we're talking about an average looking woman just reduced her mating pool down to a generous 1% of the male population. So for that generous 1% of the male population, she's competing with women who qualify for more than her. Now, is it possible she'll win? Yeah. I heard somebody recommend that, yeah, she just needs to go. And I mean, there's socially awkward, techie, intelligent, really smart tech guys who are socially awkward. I mean, you just go around them and smile and giggle a little bit and they'll fall right in love. Well, congratulations. The woman who said that, you basically just conceded defeat on the Pookie and Ray Ray versus Educated Lame argument that you previously fought against. You've conceded defeat on that one. That was cute. But the moral of the story is the probabilities are slim. But when someone like Derek Jackson is on one hand telling them that they are overqualified, so they go into the dating market thinking they're overqualified, and they're not getting with those that they are qualified for, yes, they're going to be single. They're going to be baby mamas. And unless they change their little requirements, seeing as that they're average, it increases the probability that they're going to end up being alone. Just like the average guy holding out for the Victoria's Secret model. Or not even the Victoria's Secret model. If he's holding out, if you're a below average looking guy, and you're holding out for a woman who's a 7'5", who's a 7.5, 25 years old, no kids, and good attitude, pleasant to be around. I mean, if you're an average guy and you need everything to line up just right in order for you to do business, so to speak, yeah, you've limited your market. But I've argued that most average guys are okay with average women. Shout out to Silent Lamont. He said Bernard dressed like the managers, the continent. What you talking about, Silent? What you talking about, Silent? Bernard dressed like the. Okay, you stay with your jokes. Stay with your jokes. Okay, now I didn't understand what he was talking about. Now you're gonna throw some Spanish at me, Omega Dreads. But either way, Omega Dreads came through with the heavy-handed super chat. I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Appreciate your brother. And that says, era vulgaris unto the inevitable ye shall go. All right. All right. I haven't been paying attention to your chats at all. I got messages at all, but I'm highlighting super chats. Bernard, did black leather gloves and a gun with a silencer come with that suit? Peace, brother. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. So I don't think I've cursed. I'm trying to keep it that way as long as possible. But in the event that I open it up, all bets are off, and y'all know that. All right. See, I didn't let y'all throw me off. But if you're super chatting, you can throw me off. You can throw me off my square, get me off my rocker if you super chat. So I do appreciate that. One thing that I talked about the secret sauce of Kevin Samuels' show before I even get into analyzing the clip that just went viral. Before I get into that, I've talked about the secret sauce of his show. How he lures them in talking about the high value man. And I'm not saying this is malicious or devious or anything like that, but just go with me with the wording of it. It's like the carrot. It's like a dangling carrot of high value man put right there in front of their face. And they're like, ooh, high value man. That's all I've been wanting. That's everything I ever been wanting. And then he brings them in. And this goes back to something that I was saying a while ago, where what he's doing is so hard to replicate because everything about him gives him the ability to do that. His experience, in his experience in sales, being over 3 different couple ministries, as he says. A lot of people don't realize that there's practically a call script. For those of you don't know what a call script is, it's when, if you ever worked in sales and you had to take phone calls, like when I sold cars for 6 months, when somebody called in and they just wanted to know, how much are the Nissan Altimas? If you just gave them a quick answer, oh, well, one with a brand new one, I think it was around 2011, 2010. So let's just say a new 2010 one with a basic package, about $25,000. Oh, how much would a monthly payments be on that? Oh, if you're leasing, well, let's see. If you put $4,000 down or $3,000 down, it'll be, I don't know, X number of dollars. Well, okay, bye. Click. You damn near get fired. You keep doing that. Thus, the sales script, thus the call script, where you had to ask them a series of questions and keep them going down a path. And when they're going down that path and they try to deviate from it, sometimes you can entertain it when they deviate from the path, but you got to get them back on the path, right back on the track, and walk them down and get them nodding and saying yes to every little thing on the path to get them to that point to where you've essentially lured them in and you've asked them an important question. So you've said you wanted this type of car, this color, with these features. You said you're looking to pay this amount. If I can get you in that car for that amount with this much due at signing, everything that you said you wanted, if I could get you in there, if I can get that done, would you do business today? Okay, well then you just been sitting here wasting my time. What you need all that information for? If I give you exactly what it is that you're asking for, and you're still not ready to do business. You said what you wanted. That's the importance of the call script. It's to put the person in a buy now mode. Everything that you stated that you wanted. Everything that you stated that you wanted. If that can be delivered on, are you ready to buy today? That's how call scripts generally work. A lot of people don't realize this is part of the secret sauce of what Kevin Samuels does. He puts them on a call script. He puts them down a path of stating exactly what it is that they want. And he makes them say it. I'll get into that in a little bit. Just laying down a heavy hand for the holiday. Salute. Thanks, Nick Penn. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody. A lot of y'all coming through. Good men in the building. He says, anyone anticipating? Oh, man. Anyone anticipating Derek's response? Ladies, pick up my book. Don't forget your crown. You can raise your standards and not call yourself average. Oh, yeah. Derek been taking shots. He had a video where he said, just because you take a picture in a suit looking away from the camera, that don't make you a high value man. Like he so yeah, and Kevin Samuels do got a lot of pictures looking away from the camera like that. So yeah, Derek, yeah, he been taking shots. But as I stated earlier, Derek Jackson is a part of the problem. He's a part of the problem. He's telling women that because they have an education, a degree, and they make some money, and they I don't know, can do basic adult functions, that they're overqualified out on the dating market. Yeah, capes for the pushy, strong, independent, aggressive attitude. Or what you don't want a woman that ever challenges you. A woman should be challenging you. She's pushing you to be the best. But really, what he's doing, he's just spraying deodorant over the feces that was the combative attitude. That woman don't love you if she ain't doing that. She pushing you to be better. Like so no, that's a part of the problem. There's no ifs, ands, or buts to that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that one. That is a part of the problem. That is a huge part of the problem. But as far as that call script goes, it's undefeated. He has an undefeated call script where he asks them very important questions. Do you want to be married? Oh, you do want to be married. How many kids? Oh, you want okay, 2-3 kids. Okay. Do you want to pay significant bills after the first child? Most women will say no. They don't want to pay significant bills after the first child. Okay, well, where do you live? Okay, do you plan on living there? Okay, so that's where you want to live. Do you want the kids to be able to go to college if they choose to? Okay, do you want you and your husband to both have a car, and the kids to be able to have cars if necessary? If they, when they get 16, do you want them to be able to have cars? Okay, so he basically just set up a textbook upper middle class lifestyle. That's what a lot of them are saying that they want. And when he talks to them, he finds out that a lot of them have left what seemed to be decent men because they couldn't provide that upper middle class lifestyle that statistically anywhere from roughly 10% of men off their own income can provide that. Now there's some weird numbers going on in LA and San Francisco and Dallas. I don't understand all that. I live in a small town. $100,000, $75,000 is killing it in my hometown. So there's some mathematics in big cities that I don't understand. I've been a small town guy my whole life. It is what it is. I've visited other places, but as far as where I live, no. So the mathematic that he comes up with, I trust it. I trust his math, but the mathematics that he come up with, where he's saying it's going to take $300,000 for all that, I take his word. But either way it go, adjusting for low cost of living areas or high cost of living areas, anywhere from $100,000 to $300,000 a man must make individually to provide everything that they're saying that they want to provide and that they want provided. And if 100% of women are saying that they wanting that, and there are many of them are holding out for that and or ending relationships with viable men because they want more. They just don't want a man to provide for them. They say there's a certain lifestyle that they want. They want a lifestyle, and especially if they can make it, but we know through the stats, most of them don't make that. The average black woman making about 35, 36K. That's the median income. So they all ain't up there at 100K. But those that do make that 100K, yes, they do say a lot of goofy stuff to how they require a man to replace their income and make some on top of that. If you can't do that, then he can't provide. And then they're going to stay out on the market looking for that. And then when he reminds them that they're a 5 on a scale from 1 through 10, your average, you're going to probably end up with an average average man, they think that their money and their degree bumps them up, but that only works for a man, as we know, we've talked about in the manosphere through and through, over and over, till we're blue in the face. And now it's being brought to the doorstep of women. Yes, and I made it very clear on the previous show with complex design. I said I like a smart woman. But for a man who has his money, as Kevin Samuels is going to show in the video, or going to say in the video that I'm going to show, a man who has his own money don't care that much about a woman's money. He doesn't, but they think that bumps them up some points. They think that bumps them up some points to where now they can require more. They can ask for more. Sexual market value stayed the same. We all know that. We all know that woman who's a 5 is a 5. If she's working a waitress part-time at a coffee shop waiting tables, she's still a 5. If she gets her education and now she's making 100, 150,000, which most of them don't, she's still a 5. That's how the world works. It's unfortunate for women, but that's how the world works. Men who are making that 150,000 are not going to be scooping up, like the woman in the video, a 35-year-old baby mama with a 13-year-old child and a sketchy baby daddy. It can happen, but it's rare. Somebody needed to deliver the truth to them. And I'm going to get into whether or not they're going to listen or they're going to care. But either way it go, I'm glad that somebody is on the front line fighting the good fight. If he's the captain going down with the ship, I don't care. He's fighting the good fight. He's saying what needs to be said, how it needs to be said. We're going to talk about whether or not he's being too rough, hitting them too hard with those gut punches of truth. We may get into that. We may get into that, but at the end of the day, he's telling that average woman, there's nothing wrong with being average. Average people get average people. You're an average woman. You're average looking. You'll probably end up with an average man who makes average income, who lives in an average house. And y'all can get your average asses together and go in that average house. You can make them an average sandwich and sit your average ass down, shut up, be happy, call it a life. Because it's about love, isn't it? But anyway, it's all about love. Until you tell them that they average and that they're going to get with an average man who makes average money. And nothing is wrong with that, because years ago, providing meant being able to pay the bills and put food on the table. That's what providing meant. Now it means affording a woman a certain lifestyle. All right. We're going to get into the video. I think my pre-ramble went way longer than what I wanted it to go. I'm looking at a list of things because I write stuff down every now and then. So I'm looking at, I wanted to talk about that excellent, I didn't finish saying what I was saying about the call script. That sales script is amazing. How he walks them down that path, get them to admit exactly what they want, and then get them to understand exactly what that entails. Where I personally believe in a small town, what they're talking about, it'd take about 100,000 to get that done. But I guess in big cities like Dallas or whatever, San Francisco, California, I suppose it takes, upwards of $300,000 to get that done, what they're saying that they want. And then he gets them to understand what it is that they're asking for, and he gets them to understand the percentage of women, a percentage of men who actually make that. And once he gets them to understand that, then he's drawn them right in. Okay, height, weight, dress size. And then that's when it's game over after that. Because no, he said age, height, weight, then he goes right to age, height, weight, dress size, how many kids. And then that's when you find out, oh, so you're 37 years old. So you got 3 kids. So you got 3 kids by 2 different men. And and you're 5'4", and you said you're a dress size 8. How much did you weigh on your last weigh-in? 190. He's like, no, you ain't no damn size 8. You're like a size 12. I don't even understand dress sizes that much, but he's like, no, that's a 14. You're lying. So okay, so you're on the body mass index chart. You're obese. You got 3 kids. You 3 kids, 2 baby daddies. At least one of them kind of sketchy. You've been interrupting me and being combative with me the whole time we've been talking. So I tend to believe you probably do that in your relationships. So, here we go. Overweight, overweight, a couple kids by a couple different men, a potentially bad attitude, closing in on 40. Not that it's against the law to close in on 40. I mean, it's okay to be 37. It's okay to be 38. It's okay to be 35. But if you have the mating requirements of a 24-year-old 9 on a scale from 1 through 10, then being 37 is kind of a problem. Being 37 in average is a problem. But what was I saying? You're facially a 5 on a scale from 1 through 10. You're overweight. You got a couple different kids by a couple different men. And, you got all that going against you. But you're holding out and expecting. We just met that through per the sales script. Even though you tried to veer off the path, I got you right on that path. And we figured out that what you're supposedly holding out for, what you supposedly want, is what amounts to anywhere from a generous 10% of men, but in most cases, what they really say they want is coming down to like 3% of men being able to provide that. Not adjusted for race, not adjusted for whether or not they're married, not adjusted for whether or not they actually attracted to her as, not adjusted for, so many other factors. Because some of them have even went on to say that, oh yeah, and we gotta agree and we gotta be on the same page, and we gotta all that. It's the Steve Harveys and Derek Jackson of the world have told them consistently, you're the prize. You're the prize. Is all about you, and it's a man out there just for you, even though they all F boys and you outnumber for every, the F boys outnumber you 10,000 to 1, but it's a man out there just for you, even though the pool is mathematically, statistically that small for you. You're going to get that exact guy. That exact guy that you described. It's prosperity preaching. It's prosperity preaching what they're doing. There's a multi-million-dollar machine that deludes women, deludes them, feeds their delusion inside out in every way, shape, or form. So regardless of whether you think that any of these women are going to actually listen to Kevin Samuels, whether or not you think the women in the audience, more specifically, because the one who calls in, that's kind of, who knows what her motivation is for calling in. A lot of people touched on that last time. Some of them, they just want to be seen on a screen, or they just want to hear their voice so they can go listen to it again. Who knows? It's been theorized that many of them want him to yell at them and go off on them so they can go masturbate to it. But that's another story. We ain't going there. But the women listening do got to be thinking like, dang, I probably need to adjust my standard. Probably. Not necessarily I mean, I hate that the term settle is out there, because it's really not settling. If somebody gives you a proper appraisal of where you're at, how are you settling? If I got $5,000 to buy a car, you show me what $5,000 cars look like, I'm not settling for that $5,000 car. But if that's all I got to buy a car, I have to buy a $5,000 car. The Derek Jacksons of the world tell them that they're overqualified. He literally said this, not going to play it, but he literally said this, that women out on the dating market, this pandemic of overqualified women, are the equivalent of women who went and got a master's degree got all the credentials, all the certifications, got everything that you need to get a good job out here. Then they went out to the market and they saw the only jobs that were hiring was McDonald's and Burger King. Kevin Samuels tells that average woman the truth, that average guy is what she actually qualifies for. Derek Jackson tells them that no, you're overqualified for that guy, and you need to go get that guy that apparently you can't get. So there's that. There's that. But we in the building. There's 300 people in here. Make sure y'all hit the like button, and I'm pulling up the video, my own video right now of me talking right now, so I can hit the like button myself. Okay, I just looked at a video by a woman. I'm not even going to repeat that video title. I'm not even going to repeat that video title. I saw a woman who did a reaction video to Kevin Samuels. And no, this isn't the one that they call the eagle, bald eagle, but it's been converted to the eagle. I'm not talking about her, but I saw a woman. She got at wit's end trying to analyze Kevin Samuels' video, and she just went right to that kind of rhetoric, though. You live in another man's country. Like that and I just saw that, yeah, so that's where some of them are going with this. That's where some of them are going with this. But I'm going to roll the beautiful bean footage, even though a lot of y'all have already seen it. I'm going to roll it, but I got some quick, sharp commentary to give on that, and then I'll get back into saying what I was saying, how I was saying it. Because if I don't roll the beautiful bean footage, the 2.5 people out there that don't know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Kevin Samuels' recent viral success. Where this bad boy is at 1.6 mil on WorldStar. 1.6 mil on WorldStar. Figure that. All right. Do I even got that up? Can y'all see it? All right. Yeah, y'all can see that real good. Perfect. Don't you worry about a thing.
I honestly want a 6-figure guy. Is what I'm realizing.
And ma'am, and that's my point. You ladies all feel like, listen, you ladies all feel like you're the exception to the rule. And then when someone like myself comes along and gives you a dose of reality, instead of just accepting it, it's like, yeah, but I'm special. You don't know any men on this level that are not your father, that aren't related to you. That means you don't know these men. You don't know where to go get them. You don't know what they want. But you're still saying, pick me. They don't want mid-30-year-old baby mamas. I'm trying to be polite, man, but they don't want those.
Can I ask you a question?
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Why is that so? Okay, go ahead.
Why is it so?
Go ahead.
From my point of view, I feel like I get what you're saying. They do have better options, but also those better options are younger girls. Those younger girls.
Guys in the chat for just for the hell of it, let's throw a rating out there. I don't think I paused her at a good moment, but one thing about Kevin Samuels' show, women have figured out how to rate themselves properly. If this was 4 months ago, I guarantee that woman would have said she was an 8. She gave herself what I think to be a proper appraisal of a 5 that can adjust to a 6. I saw somebody say that she's an adjustable 4, meaning that she's a 4 who can adjust to a 5. And that may be accurate. Throw out your ratings in the chat. Throw out your ratings in the chat. Osama Abdu in the building. He says, shout out to BR in chat. should be a great podcast. Definitely working on that. Definitely working on that. I'm seeing 3s, 5s, 4, 5.5. I mean, it's kind of weird when somebody's sitting there talking, because there are some moments when some people talk, their face scrunches. My face does it too. So, I mean, this is part of being human. So when some people talk, their face balls up in a certain kind of way where if they get caught at the wrong moment, they're going to look kind of funny. But there's a negative man says it's 12. Yeah. Okay. You must be rating on that Patrice O'Neill scale. Okay, so we're getting a lot of 4s and 5s, and and there's nothing terribly wrong with that. And I think that's what gets lost a lot of the time with Kevin Samuels. They think he's insulting women. There's weird shit. I should have came with action packed with video clips ready to go, because there was a clip of a bunch of average looking black women. They were sitting on a couch, they were talking, and they were giving their opinion about this, opinion about that, talking about relationships and men and this and how they felt growing up as a black girl because they felt unwanted, and they was doing all that shit stuff. Damn, gotta quit cussing. They was doing all of that, but now they found peace. And one of them asked a question. She was like, "So when did you give yourself permission to be beautiful?" It's like that's what a lot of them think. They can click their heels together and say there's no place like home, and then they could just be whatever they want and float around in the delusion, and then get fed the delusions that they are overqualified, and if they don't get what they want, it's because the men need to step up and elevate and get on their level and do this and do that, and all the whole works. That's what more or less what needs to happen. But what gets lost in the shuffle of Kevin Samuels is that when he tells them that, okay, you're average, he makes it clear there's nothing wrong with being average. There's actually something that I've been saying from the start with this thing. There's nothing wrong with an average woman. Why? Because there's plenty of average men out there who will accept that average woman, provided that she don't drive them crazy, provided she don't make them want to jump off a cliff. They will accept that average woman. So when he's telling them that they're average, and yeah, you need to get an average guy, there's nothing wrong with an average guy. Actually, I mean, to bring it right home and personal, I'll go ahead and call it. My mom, she married a construction worker. My mom was a housekeeper at a hotel. Worked her way up to the point to where she was the manager of the housekeeping department. She hired all the other maids, but that's still like a $35,000 a year gig. She understood that she was a woman with kids. She found a construction worker who couldn't have kids. That was the key. He couldn't have kids, but he did want a family. So she found a construction worker who probably made $60K. He was an average guy. He was a hard-working man. He worked his way up to where now he's working for that same company, got some cozy safety job, making well over $100K. My mom retired. She started getting a little older. Had a little health scare, and I was like, "Mama, go your ass home. You ain't, you felt like your husband was an asshole for the whole marriage, but you didn't leave him. You stayed with him, and now you're having a health scare. What did you stay with him for? So you can work till you're dead? No, go your ass home, make him take care of you." That's what I told my mama. She was closing in on 50. She was over 50, over 50, and had some little health problem. Something happened with her back, and I'm like, no, go retire. Well, I can't mathematically retire yet because I don't give a damn. Retire, quit. Don't retire, quit. You stayed with him through all them hard times for this reason right here, so you don't got to be one of those women working till you're dead. Yeah, Eamon Perry. He couldn't have kids. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. Don't know the genesis of that. I mean, it's a percentage of men who, for whatever reason, they soldiers don't march. But yeah, Now, my mom, who I believe may have been 35 at the time, could have been sitting there talking about she wanted a six-figure man to take care of her and her kids, and she wanted this and she wanted that. No, she found a probably $50K a year construction worker who had good work ethic. So right there in my personal life, I didn't see it in the eyes I see it with now, but right now, I see that my mom, she made the right call. She's still married to this day. Like, it was literally the right call. And my mom wasn't an unattractive woman. I'm not going to sit here and put my mom on the chopping blocks and go to rating my mom because that's weird. But she wasn't an unattractive woman. But she made a decision about what she accurately qualified for. I don't know how much her thought process was. I've never talked about this with my mom. I'm just, as an adult, you know, I'm just looking at it right now, looking back at it. Yeah, she found a regular guy. Like, that's where it's at. Found a regular guy. She put his 30 with his 60 or 50 or whatever. We was middle class. And they both earned a little more as they went along in the month. And then, yeah, it was comfortable. They're very comfortable right now. Like, that's how life works for middle America working class people. So when Kevin Samuels is telling her she's average, get with an average guy and go shut up and be happy somewhere, I don't know why women are taking that as an insult. Shout out to Sika Yang. Shout out to you. He says that's an adjustable 4. An adjustable 4. I mean, possibly, yeah. Somebody said 3.9. Man, round her up to a 4, man. Quit bullying. Go on and give her that extra that extra 10th, man. Go on and give it to her. Okay, Jesse, that's a weird question. You asked me, do I look more like my mom or my dad? My dad died when I was like 5, but I did I got recently, as 5-6 years ago, got some pictures of him to really just look at with adult eyes, because lost in the shuffle, I ended up not seeing too many pictures of him. And to keep it real, there was a picture of him at the house, them old school family photos, but the dad is like cut out of the picture. It was one of those in my house. So I didn't grow up looking at pictures of him because there was no pictures of him around the house. But when I got older, ended up getting with one of my aunties, and one was his sister. And yeah, she gave me a lot of pictures, and he looked more like my brother than me, but there are times where he did look like we kind of looked alike. But give her that extra 10th, man. Give her that extra 10th. You boiling box. Bernard, and the thing is, the average guy is still usually better than she is. Like us said, she's looking down on she's looking down on men better than her because she puts on makeup and lies to herself. Yeah. I mean, it's a working apparatus that makes them delusional. Very easily working multi-million-dollar, probably billion-dollar. I mean, I would be shocked if the relationship industry wasn't worth over $1 billion. Y'all getting me off my square. But I like interacting with the chat. Like that the channel is small. Some big channels that don't even interact with the chat. And I understand that to some degree because sometimes the chat would drive you crazy. Shout out to Soul Provider. He says the chat room runs the manosphere. That was an interesting concept. He said, BR, they ain't thinking about anything. It's a fact. You're describing logic. They don't use logic 90% of the time. Big facts. Retrospective is not in most women's nature. Very true. Very true. All right, let's dive back on into it. But I just wanted to deal with that average thing, and I understand the what that does to a woman's mind. Because if a woman is conditioned to feel like a man is supposed to provide, she gets to a point where she's making $100,000 a year. To her, a $50,000 a year man, and just for the record, for those that don't know, the average white man in this country makes $50,000 a year. So if I'm selling struggle love, then okay, then so is struggle Brad. So anyway, so the average white woman is in that case with struggle love then, because the average white woman is by definition with the average white man who makes 50K. Oh yeah, I already read that. You typed it and then you super chatted it. So shout out to you. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that. Not selling struggle love here. That's not struggle love if you're average. But I understand the mind screw that women that a woman will go through if she feels like a man is supposed to provide, but due to her education or whatever she got going on, she now is making $100,000 and she's used to a certain lifestyle. So in her, it's warped her mind to think that a man providing means providing a certain lifestyle, instead of before a man providing meant roof over the head, running water, electricity, food on the table. That's what a man providing used to be. But things have changed, and now they expect that somehow we're supposed to produce an economy where women can make $100,000 a year, and men are supposed to not only make $100,000 a year, they're supposed to make significantly above that, so they can replace your income and then still have extra income on top of that. Like, economies don't work that way to where that many men are going to make that much money. It's going. If you want more men that make $100,000 and more men that work and make money, every woman needs to leave the workforce right now. Quit. That's too much. That ain't gonna work. I suggested that before. They making up 50% of the work, 51% of the workforce. No, I think close to 50%. It's damn near equal, give or take. Not gonna throw out no wrong stats. And I hate when I round up with the stats and somebody say my stats ain't right. I was just rounding. But yeah, they're making up 50% of the workforce. If women make up 50% of the workforce and they working hard and they fighting for every privilege, to everything that they need to be able to make that 50% of the workforce, they fight for it. They want their education, they want this, they want the jobs, they want this, they want that, they want their businesses, they want all of that. Well, if women are occupying that much of the workforce, then quite naturally, then that's gonna drive a lot of men out of the workforce, out of certain jobs, and it is what it is. It's a dog-eat-dog world. A man who compete win. And that is what it is. And the women who compete win. Shout out to you. Congratulations. But now that y'all got your jobs and you got your money and you got your degrees and you're doing good and you're killing it, now you're expecting, now that you can make 80 to 100,000, now you're expecting $200,000 men to fall from the sky. It don't work that way. It's going to be the same percentage of men who make that same percentage of money that you consider to be providing, and you consider to be providing what can provide you a certain lifestyle. And if you consider to be providing what can provide you a certain lifestyle, then yes, as Kevin Samuels has said, you've priced yourself out of the market, or you have a very limited pool of men who can provide what you say that you want. Like, this is mathematics. This is an economy. If an economist had to break this down, and we got Thomas Sowell on this job. Shout out to Obsidian. He always said we need our intellectuals to really break down this type of stuff and put some math on it. It's, we're shooting from the hip down here. We need some of our towering intellectuals to handle some of this stuff. But if they broke it down mathematically and put some economics on it, we'll see that it's just not possible for it to be that many provider men in a market where 50% of the workforce is women, and where the men are required to make practically double what the woman makes now in order for him to be considered a provider. That economically will not work. It won't. That dog won't hunt. So yes, women with that warped mindset, and I understand where it comes from because they want a provider, but they've redefined what a provider is, and now they're going to, some of them will end up dying alone. In fact, many of them do. Those are just facts of just the reality. That's the math of it. We can just math our way through this thing. You know, we can talk about, love and emotional connection and all that all we want, but if we just math this thing, we're going to end up at the same place. Just mathing it. What they're saying it won't work. Well, some of them will get it. Well, who will get it? Probably the younger, hotter, slimmer, no kids, pleasant to be around women. That's some ratchet chicks that do get married to men that got money. It happens, but overall, I think we get where I'm going. Melody says, she average, nothing wrong with that. She just got to accept it. Yeah, and there's an apparatus that teachers are not to accept it, to expect that she's going to get the high earner. But let me roll the not so beautiful bean footage. But nothing like, man, nothing wrong with an average looking woman. Nothing wrong with an average looking woman. There's plenty of average guys who are happy with the average women. There's no reason why she shouldn't be with average.
Those don't necessarily 20-year-olds are not necessarily attracted to 45-year-olds.
Bullshit. I'm 51 and I can't beat them off with a stick.
They stay dirty macking on the younger women, even with the True Kitchen situation. Well, young women be doing what they do. I was like, them women look all at 35. Like, cut it out. And we know that the STD rate is higher with women between 30 and 40. The out of wedlock pregnancy rate is higher between women between 30 and 40. It's so many stats where the women between 30 and 40 are all messed up, but they stay dirty macking on the young chicks. They stay dirty macking. And they continue to get away. I actually saw the title of a video that I want to do content on it, but I'm just trying not to because, it is a content creator that I just don't want to be doing content on. But she said, men expect 20-year-old women to submit like 40-year-old women. Who the hell? Where did she get the crazy idea that 40-year-old women are more submissive? That was the title of a video. All right.
That's another one on you lies. No, younger women are attracted to older men. What are you talking about?
So can you see me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So do you feel like a woman like me?
Uh-huh. What would you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? You cannot use 7.
Would I rate myself?
Just your face.
My face when I wake up 5, but when I put myself together 6.
Okay, see, remember when I said sometimes when people talk, they mouth to do certain things or they face move in a certain, like that's one of those moments. Like it's really just when she get caught at the wrong or holding her face the wrong way. It's like she start looking funny. Like she don't overall. Oh man, like no, listen. Okay, I'm not gonna beat up on her about her looks. I gave y'all ratings. I gave mine. I think she accurately rated herself when she said a 5. But when she get caught holding that facial expression right there, when she get caught with that one, that's where she dropped down in 3 territory. When she get caught holding that face right there. And look, That's one thing I don't do on this channel, and I don't like when other men do it, when they beat up on women for things that they necessarily can't change. Like, you can't change your face, other than plastic surgery. You can't exactly change your face. You were born with that. You were born with your face. And so she said she's in shape, so she's fit. Maybe she just got good genes and fast metabolism, but at the end of the day, you're talking about a woman who's in shape. She can't help her face. Her face is her face is her face. Is what it is. But she just keep getting caught at those bad moments. Those real bad moments where she's looking like, I can't even make the face. Because like my mouth don't do what her mouth, like her mouth does a weird thing where she's just looking like that. It's like it's a weird thing that her face does when she's talking. But when she's just sitting there just looking straight ahead where her face don't ball up, it's not bad looking. It's not, but anyway. Opinionated Brother Radio. She asked for the truth and got it, but accepted. Yeah. He says, as Paul G says, that weave though. Man, black men be giving a lot of pushback on that weave. I thought we would have been beaten to submission on the weave. Oh, come on, Pablo. Don't say she looked like the Predator. Get out of there. No, she don't. No, she don't. Don't be talking about our beautiful black queens. Get out of there. She do not look like the Predator. But I thought we would have been beaten to submission on that weave thing. But no, brothers are standing strong. Y'all are holding the line on that. Y'all do not like weave. Y'all are holding the line. Y'all holding the line like the 300. Oh man. Brothers ain't giving an inch on their weave. Y'all are holding the line. Like the hell with all that. Okay. I almost got up and just left the show. She do look like Sam Cassell. No. Why did you do that, man? Why did you do that? That's what I was trying to describe when I was saying her face when she talk, it does some weird type of thing. She got the Sam Cassell like right in here. Like right around here. If I just put a perfect circle right there, she's Sam Cassell right in there. Teeth and all, everything. That's it. That's what I was trying to describe. When she talk, her face does that Sam Cassell thing. Where she, they start looking very E.T. phone home-ish. Like there's something weird going on there. But when she's not talking and she's just sitting there looking straight ahead, you can see that it's some okay lookingness there, She accurately rated herself. She said she's average. And some women like, they clutching pearls. She believes that she's average. I was listening to, I forgot who it was. But I was listening to something. They had a nice little panel. They had some people that kept it real and some people who was caping. He said, the woman said, the first thing I would do if I talked to that woman, and she said that she rated herself a 5, I would have to stop everything and say, why do you believe that about yourself? Why do you believe so low of yourself? Women can't be a 5? Men can certainly be broke. Men can certainly be average earning. I've said it on this show. Looked right in the camera and said, most of my life, I've been just a regular average earning guy. And that's okay. So I can look in the mirror and say, yeah, there's times I was broke. I was working. There's times when I was, fit in the category of the working poor, but I was working. I was providing what I could. The roof was over our head. The lights was on. There was food on the table. Running water. I had to, get a little older, make a little more money, do a little better. But I was working. But I was below average at one point. Then I worked my way to average. Then I worked my way now to where I'm, above average, but not just knocking it all the way out the park. I still know that if I'm, in a room with men that make, $150,000 a year, I can't measure arms with them. I'm still a man. They not gonna disrespect me. They ain't gonna make me go to the back of the bus. But when it comes to accomplishing things as a man, I gotta tip my hat. They got me. It is what it is. Like, come on. I can't click my heels together 3 times and say there's no place like home or no place like Wakanda, and all of a sudden I got everything right now. I gotta work. I gotta figure this junk out. I didn't even read your super chat, man. You said Sam Cassell and I lost it. You said we clown Sam Cassell face, but there's someone out there for everybody. Absolutely. If Tarana Burke can find a man, hallelujah, praise the Lord. If Tarana Burke can find a man, then she will too. Mm-hmm. I actually agree, and that's where Kevin Samuels is good. He's bringing her down to earth where she can find a man here on earth. That's why Kevin Samuels is doing the Lord's work. He says, I bet this woman gets married before May. I have no idea who that is. But no, there's plenty of men who will marry this woman. I think so. There are plenty of regular, average Joe Smo dudes who will see a woman who's a size 3, who's 5'4", size 3. I don't know if she got a little booty back there or whatever, but there's plenty of men who will see a woman like that. But even though she do seem a little dintsy, to the point where I question that 6-figure business she got, because she just seemed real dintsy. But I talked before on a previous show about how there's a such thing as me and Complex was talking about how we like smart women. I do. Don't care about, your education, but I do like that I can have an intelligent conversation with you. I do like that. Me and my woman, the first conversation we had, I told the story before. I don't know how it happened, but we ended up debating moral relativism, or can there be objective moral truths without the existence of a God, without the existence of an objective moral lawgiver? How do we derive our moral compass about what's right and what's wrong? Like that, and that turned into a deep philosophical conversation. We somehow had that conversation in our first phone conversation, and I was like, "Whoa, she's smart." I actually do like that. Now, if I'm out on the market for casual sex, which I actually was when I met her, but she showed me some other stuff, and I ended up liking her. She ended up sticking, we ended up sticking around, and hey, we still here. But when I'm out on the market for casual sex, I don't care about your intelligence. But yeah, intelligence matters. But there's a such thing as a dintsy dumb chick who's not loud, which this chick doesn't seem loud. Who's not disrespectful, which she doesn't seem disrespectful. A bit clueless, but if you get a clueless girl who's aight looking, who will listen to you, who generally do what she need to do what she's supposed to do, or dare I say, do what you tell her to do, get in there and cook some food, and making some nice foods. They can cook and, and be nice, sweet little women to be with. But the only thing is they kind of stupid, and they might mess around and leave the stove on and burn the house down. I don't know. I talked about that, and I don't know if it was just me, but I've had chicks cook for me, and the food good. I'm like, damn. And then all of a sudden, I'm smelling smoke, and then the smoke detector's going off, and they'd almost burned the house down. Some of them chicks that's kind of clueless and dintsy like her, they be leaving the stove on, leaving the iron on, be doing a lot of dintsy, clueless stuff. But those women can still be good women for, if they average looking, a little dintsy, they could be good wives for average men. Average earning men. They can get together, they could be happy. So yes, there's definitely somebody for her. I agree with you, Indigenous TV, but you're dead wrong and dead right at the same time for bringing up Sam Cassell, because that's who the hell she looked like. All right, I've seen rabbit pits that look better than her. You cruel and evil man. You are cruel and evil man. Malcolm in the Middle 87. She would look better with a fro with big jumbo earrings. I like that look too. Yeah, that's really the look my my woman rock. She never permed her hair. she really don't wear weave, even though she have before. I've actually shown a picture of her before when she had some weave on, but that was, the weave that I sell. We had recently did for those that don't know, yes, I do got a website in the office that I sell weave out of. So that's part of the reason why I'm a little biased and don't beat up on them about weave, because I make money off of it. But yeah, I think black men need to take over the hair business and put the Koreans or wherever they from, put them out of business. So yeah, but anyway, so yeah, I do. So yeah, the one picture I showed of her was a picture where she, had on the hair. She had made a wig out of it and put it on, and we had went out on New Year's. That was the one picture I showed of her, and we made a commercial for the business that she, kind of modeled in the commercial. But other than that, that was the last time she wore some weave, and that New Year's is already rolling back around, so that was a year ago. So no, woman don't rock weave. She rock basically what you're describing, a kinky, twisty, curly, durly, swirly little fro situation that kind of, I don't know how they do it, but yeah, that's what she rock. Some earrings, a little makeup. Yeah, it's a cute look. It's a cute look. It's a cute look that they need to work on. And it's hard to work on it for some of them, depending on the type of hair they got. But they need to work on it. It just is what it is. We hear arguments that imply that they twerk like that because the market dictates that they twerking in a restaurant because that's what black men like. So they're being submissive, just twerking against their will. We really don't want to do this, but this is what you like, so we're just going to suffer through all this twerking that we doing. Yeah, right. Okay. You don't want to suffer through figuring out how to make your hair act right. You don't want to suffer through figuring out how to have a better attitude. You don't want to suffer through that one, but you're overeating because we like thick women, and you're twerking in restaurants because we allegedly like that. You're just submitting to us by overeating and stuffing McDonald's down your throat. Okay. Shout out to J.I. in the building. He says she looks like Roger of American Man. I don't watch American Dad. I'm a huge Family Guy fan. I don't watch American Dad. Please tell me Roger is not the alien. Please tell me Roger is not the alien. L. Nixon. Tanya TK. Oh, yeah. Tanya TKO is going in on us right now. To keep it real, that's the one that I've been referencing. But don't be advertising nobody in here while you see my numbers killing it. Don't be advertising nobody else. You're going to make people go run over there and listen to her. But yeah, I did de facto reference her a few times in this show already. I actually like her. Some not like that. I mean, like some of the things she have to say sometimes, but then sometimes she go too far and go to sisterhood. But I think she got a degree in, I think, evolutionary psychology, she said. So every now and then when she's breaking things down, she'll science it. And I love when people do that. That's why I like when Zero will science it, as he says. I like when people science their explanation. I love it. And she's the only woman in all of talking about, this type of stuff who will actually try to science her arguments. But don't come in here promoting and advertising other people, especially her. Even though I just did a little commercial for her. But I don't know. It is what it is. Shout out to her. She's a little crazy. Anyway, he says she's going in on us right now. Look what you started, Kevin. It was a matter of time. Oh yeah, she's going in. She's going in. It's right at the front, right at their doorstep. They gotta respond. Here we go. When y'all getting married, she's put up with enough. Nah, she ain't put up with enough yet. I gotta put her through like 10 years of torment. And then when I'm old with a big old pot belly and a receding and a Homer Simpson hairline, then that's what I'm gonna get, baby. We need to make this official. I'm gonna show up ring in hand after I torment her for 10, 15 years. I'm gonna let you win today, Sister George. I'm gonna let you win today. You know I could clap back on your heart right now. But I'm gonna let you win today. Sister George looking like a 94 prime MJB real. shit. Shout out to Concrete Rose in the building. I saw you down there. You don't come over here with your partner in crime that often, but I see you. I see you. I'm missing somebody else's super chat. I'm trying to get back to rolling the beautiful bean footage. See, homeboy, look what you did. The numbers went from 400 to 376. You came over here promoting female channels, and now niggas and ran over there to go watch. Thanks for the super chat, though. I appreciate you. But it's never a good idea to come into a content creator's chat room and say, hey, this other content creator is going in. That's never a good idea. I mean, unless it's just such breaking news that oh shit, I gotta stop my show and go watch this. I mean, she's just a random chick going in, saying the same shit they always say. He says, I teach kids and girls get taught in school to overrate themselves and look down on some men just like she did. Yeah. And thank y'all for all these super chats. I can barely get back to the show. Y'all coming through hard and heavy with these super chats. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get through the rest of them. Silent Lamont back in the building. Oh shit. She looked like Ordell and Jackie Brown. Silent, man. You're a low-key movie buff, man. You be dropping the movie references all day. Okay, he said, you gave a commercial to a chick that has a vid title, The Black Man is a Conquered Male Who Covets the Seed of White Alpha Roosters. Never mentioned her name. Well, I referenced her twice in my opening diatribe without mentioning her name. Somebody else came in here and mentioned her name in a super chat, and I read it, and I'm like Ron Burgundy. If I see a super chat on the screen, I kind of got to read it. I read it, and then I realize what I read after the fact, and I'm like, oh, shoot, I shouldn't have read that. But yeah, so so somebody else dropped her name in it. So after her name was dropped in it, then it was like, okay, now we talking about her. But yeah, I like listening to her sometimes for my own, I actually dig some content out of some of the stuff she says to keep it real. So that's why I like to listen to her. But no, it ain't no channel for us over there. I mean, you can just look at the title. She used to be, this is a funny thing, a lot of those black love women, they talking about black love, they talking a sweet voice, they say this, they say that, and all the whole works. Give it enough time, they will make Cynthia G rhetoric. No matter how much they seem like they're for black men, give it enough time, they will make some Cynthia G arguments. Shout out to Sister Georgia Concrete Rose. Damn, I said I was gonna let you win. Shit. All right, I forgot. I'm gonna let that go. Never mentioned. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. All right, let's get back to the bean footage. But shout out for Kevin Samuels for bringing their effery right to the front door. Bringing their effery right to the front door. Yeah, I see the Patreons scrolling down there. Moderators, you can drop the Patreon in the chat. I appreciate that. If somebody wants to become a Patreon, we got 373 people in here, formerly 400 people in here. To somebody start advertising female channels by name. Whoever super chatted that, I forgot who you were. But yeah, make sure you hit the like button. We actually doing good on the likes. There's 227 in here on the likes, so I appreciate that. All right, let's get to rolling.
And how tall are you?
5'5".
Dress size.
I'm sorry?
Your dress size.
A 3.
Okay, so that makes you, if you give yourself a 5, that's average.
Yes.
So average looking women tend not to get high earning men. They tend to get average men.
So
did you I mean, stop right there. Stop right there, breathe and digest. You're 35 years old and you can look around and see the world. You don't tend to see higher earning men with average looking women off rip. If you do see them, they got their average looking woman when they were both really young and he built his way up. But a man earning the kind of money you're talking about does not go for an average looking woman.
You want to know what's funny? Out of all the disagreement that I've heard women have about this, when he said that part right there, you look around, you see the world, you typically don't see high earning men with average looking women unless they got that average looking woman when they were on the way up. And I heard a lot of women who they would just, every word Kevin Samuels said, they would just when he said that, it's like you can hear them wanting to disagree, but they just have to. You can just see them. You can just see them. You just watch their face when they doing their response videos. You can see them swallowing their disagreement. You can see them swallowing it, like they I gotta. Okay, he got a point. He got a point. We just gotta accept it. It's like you can just hear them. You can literally hear them doing that. It's like that happens all the time. All the time. Here we go. Where we at? Let me get back on the video. That's a David Carroll say video. I've been telling y'all in video after video after video.
I mean, my body is not average, so.
But ma'am, you please don't make me say it.
Say what? I really just wanted some advice. I love your.
I'm giving you advice, but you're not taking it. The advice is, ma'am, you're average looking at best.
I'm taking it in, but
okay, but you're not accepting the fact that average looking women, average looking woman who's older, average looking older woman with a 13-year-old son, average looking woman with a 13-year-old son with a sketchy baby daddy. This gets worse every time I say something. And now you're asking.
That was the funniest part. He was running down that list and he said, this gets worse every time I say something. Oh man, that's the part that tickled me the most, man. Oh man. Jalen Roddy said, what you just say? Said Kev wanted to say her face was average so bad. Oh, he did. Whoa, I'm just now okay. All right. I typically don't do this, but it's now I sell it, but I'm no expert in the installing it part of it. But maybe the women can explain. Is something not right there? Like, I don't think her intention was for that to be like way back there. Or that's just can't be controlled. I don't know. That goes back to the part of the tape when they were saying what happens when you take all of that off. Well, I believe what happens, her hair starts in the middle of the top of her head. Like that's almost the middle. So all of that off without her baby hair slicked down. She got a look at how big her forehead would have to be from there to there without her baby hair slicked down right there. That becomes a problem. For me, that's really the biggest problem with weave, because I've said before, and I've gotten criticized for this, but some of them that actually do weave right, they could put it on and it's like, okay, yeah, you as a man, you know it's fake. Okay. But if you ask yourself, okay, this woman does look good. She does look cute. A lot of us, not to, okay, I know you good brothers don't follow no Instagram models. I know that. But but a lot of us, you know, it's some chicks that we see that we're attracted to real life and on the internet that walk around with weave in their hair. The problem comes is when they take it off. Can they do both? Do they take it off? And I said this before when I was early on my channel when I talked about the actual problem with weave. It's sometimes it's not how they look when they wearing it. It's how they look after they take it off. If y'all just having some casual sex and she show up did up with some weave going down to the middle of her back, you ain't got no problem with that. You end up in a relationship with that chick. Then that's when it become a problem when she take that junk out, get in the shower, get out the shower. She ain't got no lashes, no eyebrows. She got no edges. She got what I call the involuntary mohawk because there's no edges going all the way around. So her hairline starting in the middle of the top of her head and an involuntary mohawk, and she just looking like a goddamn alien without none of the apparatus that they use to beautify themselves. And y'all been seeing each other for 3 months and you just now seeing her for the first time how she actually look. That's when the weave is a problem. That's when it's to the point where it's not just that, it's a problem that women put weave in their hair here and there. No, it becomes a problem because you're treating it like a drug. It's a drug at that point. You can't leave the house without it. You can't go nowhere without it. You're not you without it. When you gotta wear it, you gotta put on a hat. You gotta be in disguise, looking like Inspector Gadget when you don't got weave on. It's like that's a problem. That's a problem. And then when you're seeing them, when y'all in a relationship, you seeing them laying around the house, either mummified or wrapped up, or if you're seeing them without their weave or this or that, but the world see them. They grab the Beyonce wig and walk out the house glammed up and come home and take the motherfucker off and wipe the face off, and you seeing them looking like goddamn crypt keeper. So that's where the weave becomes a problem. And that's why, they do need to just work on looking the best they possibly can without it, managing their hair, finding the right juices and berries to put in that shit, and if all they could do was just grow a little short, hell, a little short dude, Halle Berry, 4 baddest black women in the 90s. Halle Berry, even though she half black, Halle Berry, Nia Long, Toni Braxton, Jada Pinkett. I know y'all can't stand Jada Pinkett now, but she was bad in the 90s. Don't hate. Halle Berry, Toni Braxton, Nia Long, Jada Pinkett. There was pretty much damn near the 4 baddest black chicks in the 90s all had a little short hair. So men ain't opposed to short hair. I personally like some long hair, but a lot of men will get on with women with short hair. So even if they can't grow it long, figure the shit out. Like, damn. Don't keep putting all that junk in your head and have yourself looking like a goddamn alien when you take it off. But y'all put Beijing in y'all beard, though. That's what All right. All right, get out of there, Lord Commander. He said, Shorty looked like she was special ed. Holy shit, my eyes again. I need glasses. Yeah, I'm sorry. My eyes are blurry and I apologize. He said, imagine building yourself up and being super smart to get a former special ed because she got a pet grooming business. Yeah, we're going to get into her pet grooming business. But, you can't judge somebody. Balding isn't baby hair. Okay. I mean, it's something right there. There's something right there. I think that qualifies as baby hair. Get out of there. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. That qualifies as baby hair. My bad, Justin March. Anybody else who I almost missed your super sticker. I scrolled all the way down and was about to move on. And I missed your super sticker. My bad, homie. My bad. I did see news. I be missing people, and I'm sorry. I like to thank everybody who supports the channel. David Johnson in the building. He says, snatch off their weave and Shazam, instant act right. man, when you watch any video, or if you've seen it, if you've caught the event happen in public, unless they're fighting, because when they fighting and they weave gets snatched off or they wig gets snatched off, they don't care. They just keep throwing blows. But if you caught the act in public just by freak accident, some weave gets snatched off, it got caught on something, and they just kept walking in it, and the wig just got pulled off out in public. I swear, it's like water got tossed on the Wicked Witch of the West. Is man, y'all mean. Start every show, say what's up, good people, and then y'all prove to me every day that y'all are not good people. Said she looks like Lou Gossett in drag. Man, y'all gonna quit doing this. Y'all gonna quit doing this, man. I didn't start this stream just so y'all can insult this woman. That wasn't the main purpose. Maybe 5%, maybe 5%. But that's not what we're about here. We're about building. All right, we're gonna roll some more footage.
Asking for a man who's in the top 10% of men. You don't.
This was a weird part because it's like she stopped. I don't know what she started doing. If I had to guess what she started doing here, because I don't believe she just stopped listening to him. I think she probably wanted to look at herself. She probably pulled up the camera on her phone and put it in reverse so she can look at herself. So she can probably confirm, well, let me see how I really look. You know, I don't know. Because I don't think that she just lost interest. She was either watching the chat or she wanted to look at herself. Yeah, somebody said read in the chat. That could be it. She wanted to see if the chat was agreeing or disagreeing. Here we go. Slayer Jim says, women, what did it say? It says, Silent Lamont, women can never be as harsh as men can. Even soft-looking Kevin Samuels is harsher than most women. Well, let's do a little thought experiment here. There's currently, well, I mean, it was a video. It was up. But there's a woman just dropped a video. I believe a woman that has a lot of subs. I don't know how many subs she has. She got over 100,000 subs. Just dropped a video called "The Black Man is a Conquered Male Who Covets the Seed of White Alpha." Hold on. White Alpha Roosters. Okay, so tell me, what did Kevin Samuels say in this stream that was more harsher than that? The black man is a conquered male who covets the seed of white alpha roosters. So you're going to try to sell that women cannot be harsher than men. Are you kidding me? Women could be pro-black and deep in pro-black circles. I mean, deep in pro-black circles and be proponents of black love and still say stuff like that. All the men who spoke on these issues. Yeah, I know, Sir Tice. Shout out to you. Men who spoke on those issues, men who pro-black, they gotta wear kids' gloves. They gotta put the cape on. They gotta make excuses. They gotta spray deodorant and perfume over all the shit that black women do. They gotta do all of that. And don't let them be in the black love industry. Don't get me started on the caping and coddling and all of that goes on there, making excuses for all the pathology and delusion and all just stupid stuff. Will excuse any behavior, will exercise their right to remain silent on the bad behavior, or they either exercise their right to remain silent on the bad behavior, or they make a full-blown excuse for it. or they figure out a way to blame men for it. That's how it goes on the end with men. In this black manosphere, yeah, there's a growing segment of men who are just being brutally honest. Yes. But overall, by and large, no. A man can't be in the black love space and in until Kevin, because Kevin is technically in that space and he's being brutally honest. But until that goes back to what I said, the phenomenon of Kevin Samuels. That's part of the phenomenon that we're going to get back to after the video. But men can't be in that space. Men can't be in that space in either the black love space or especially the pro-black space and say things like, I'll read that again. The black man is a conquered male who covets the seed of white alpha roosters. Black women with platforms supported by pro-black men and black love industry men will support a woman saying that. So no, that's some bull if you think women can never be as harsh as men. They're allowed to be. They're coddled and caped for when they do it. Kevin Samuels just gave this woman an honest appraisal about her looks and what her prospects probably are out there on the dating market, and the world just stopped. The world don't stop when people say something like what I just read, because that's normal. So you can never compare the two. They always try to do that. They always try to make it seem like it's just an equal playing field, two people, laced up at the same time, met in the center of the ring to fight. No. Y'all been throwing uncountered punches for a long time, and now somebody finally rolled under the punches when the Black Manosphere came along. Somebody finally rolled under one of those punches and hit back, and now you're losing your shit. But we can never be that harsh. Bullshit. I've been okay. Let me cut it out. Let me cut it out.
Don't qualify for one. And this gets worse every time I say something. And now you're asking for a man who's in the top 10% of men. You don't qualify for one. And you're making, I don't want to have to go there, but when you put in all these other factors, why can't you just get a man that's an average guy?
Sometimes I feel like in order to fully submit, I have to feel like he's in.
Well, then you're gonna die alone. How about that? Let me just cut to the chase, ma'am. You can feel like what you want to, but women like you die alone, straight up, because you think you're better than the men that you qualify for. And the only reason, honestly, ma'am, that I can see a woman like yourself really thinking you deserve more is because you earn more money than most people around you in North Carolina.
That was the coup de grace, most important part of it. Well, there's a lot of important parts of this, but the thinking you're better than the men that you qualify for, and juxtapose that with them ultimately being told by the likes of Derek Jackson that no, they're actually overqualified out on the dating market. And that's what they believe. That's what they believe, that they're overqualified. They're telling women that their looks don't matter as much. And I'm somebody who will say looks aren't everything. And the way that men date and mate, it shows that, in my opinion, the men that looks aren't everything. In this context, let me explain. Men, they want the best looking woman that they can get. The best looking woman that they can get. But I think men, infinitely more than women, have a healthy understanding of what they can and they can't get. So when it comes to a long-term relationship, if the best looking woman that a guy can get is a 5 who's average or a 6 who's slightly above average, yes, he wants that. Yes, he does want it. He wants the best that he could possibly get. Men aren't holding out for 8s, 9s, and 10s if they understand that they're a 4 or 5 their damn self. They're gonna They're gonna try to get a relationship from that 5. And they generally understand that they got to have things going on in their life when it comes to getting a relationship. Now, casual sex is a different animal because, like I said, dudes will lower their standard to the ground floor for casual sex, but they normally down to relationship exactly where they're at. But if they get their money together, they get things right in terms of success, in terms of career, in terms of status, in terms of all of that, then yeah, they'll try to bump up some points. Or maybe they just got game wit, swag, charisma, charm, all that. Maybe that could bump them up a point or two here or there. Maybe. For the most part, men understand where they at. They understand what they're going to get. So yes, looks are important, but it's important within a certain bubble. And every man has a different bubble. It's not a market of men that are the equivalent of her, where they're just average guys holding out for a Victoria's Secret model or Instagram model or some chick that's a 8, 9, or 10, or even a 7. Average guys knows that they got to roll up their sleeves and put in some work sometimes to get, access to average women, and sometimes below average women. Shout out to Game Changer when he pointed out that a lot of times the dating coaches for men, the male dating coaches for men, all they're doing is basically teaching you how to get access to women you already had access to. There's no industry selling us delusions, but they sell these women these delusions. Shout out to Derek Jackson and those like him. Sell these women the delusions that's going to leave them by themselves. And after you feed their brain with all the stuff, all the delusion that's going to keep them by themselves, then you sell them self-love because you gave them advice that ultimately led to them being by themselves. Talk about cutting somebody with a knife to sell them a bandage, but then criticize this man because he's telling her the truth. No, you're average looking, go get an average man. Quit talking about this 6-figure shit. It's ridiculous that Kevin Samuels is being savage for this. That he's being called, okay, you can call him a savage, but people are savaging his name for this. Because if the market is telling women, or if the whole dating coach black love industry is telling women it's better to be single than to settle without giving a proper appraisal of what they qualify for and just accepting their delusion of whatever they tell you that they qualify for, or as Steve Harvey said, you get to determine what you're worth. No, the market determines what you're worth. But he sold them that delusion that the market can just determine what you're worth. No, not the market, but you can determine what you're worth on the market. And if you're trying to sell a product that nobody will buy at that price, that don't listen to the market, listen to your heart. And I would rather you not settle. So you're not going to settle because according to the Derek Jacksons of the world, there's a pandemic of overqualified women. So these overqualified women are going to end up without a man because they don't want to accept that they're average and get with the average man that they qualify for. So we're gonna sell you self-love after I give you advice that lead you to be by yourself. I'm gonna sell you self-love. How could the same people who see that, support that, and getting involved, even slightly remotely participate or encourage that, can have any criticism of what Kevin Samuels is doing? That's the nonsense part of this. Real Brother Radio. Shout out to Real Brother. We got a real brother in the building. Got a real brother about to give us some real information. He says, we date cute girls. We marry sisters of substance. Shame on us not supporting the truth. I kind of agree with you, RBR. We date cute girls. Yeah. Men date women as cute as they could possibly, as cute as they could possibly get within reason. Men want to date the cutest chick that they could possibly get. But when it comes to marrying somebody, you're going to marry somebody who more than likely has more substance. But that substance have been defined as I'm strong and I'm educated and I'm this and I'm that. And that's my substance. Like they beating their chest, grabbing their nuts like men. That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. We were with a radio. Some of these guys only see substance in looks. That's why they are always crying. And that is a bunch of baloney. That is a bunch of baloney, and I hate when people say that guys are crying. Who's crying? How do you define crying? Do you define an accurate critique of the dating and mating game that puts you in a negative light? You define that as crying? What does that even mean? Crying. When somebody is crying, they got tears coming down their face. So what are you talking about? What you're really saying is, I don't like that men are giving social commentary on Black America as it pertains to relationships or just interactions in terms of dating, mating, and overall interactions between Black men and Black women. I don't like that they're giving commentary that I disagree with, so I'm going to say that they're crying and they're whining and they're complaining and they're just a bunch of babies. It is that. Could you please just stop telling the truth, because it's making my ears bleed? That's really what you're saying. That's really all you're saying. The manosphere wins again. We're always ahead of everybody else. Now everybody got to catch up. Everybody got to catch up. That's why it goes back to something I'm going to get into a little later on, is how we got to salute Kevin Samuels. He didn't invent most of these. There's some stuff that he says on his show that's very unique to him. His own little personal specialized niche that he offers, these type of conversations. But a lot of the stuff that he's saying, he didn't invent it. It was just things that was said here amongst these Black male spaces. There were things that were said here. What he did do is he figured out a way to bring it to a mainstream stage, a mainstream audience. He's the one who figured that out. That's what Kevin Samuels did. He figured out how to bring it to the doorstep, not just the doorstep of Black women, but when you're on World Star, you're practically on the doorstep of the world. The world is hearing it now. That's what Kevin Samuels did, and that's why what he's doing is important. Even though some of you may think, "Oh, these women, they ain't gonna change." You think they're gonna change the way they operate just after hearing Kevin Samuels say what he said? So what if they don't? The points was made. People had to listen. People had to process it. And now the niggas ain't shit narrative ain't the only narrative now. That was the only narrative on the big board, on the Jumbotron, on the Summer Jam screen. That was the only thing up there. Now it's not the only thing up there. So regardless of what you think the end result and outcome is going to be, you need to acknowledge that a lot of the points that Black men have been making in this space for years is being brought to the mainstream. That's something worth acknowledging. Even if you disagree with him on marriage, even if you disagree with him on relationships, even if you're an SYSBM, even if you're MGTOW, regardless of where you stand, regardless of where you stand, the things that he's breaking down, exposing, and showing to the world in the most viral way possible, you have to acknowledge all the reasons that you became MGTOW, or part of the reasons that you became MGTOW. He's showcasing it to the world now. So that makes you not seem as some oddball out on the fringe. If it's going mainstream, and now people got to contend with it, and now people are already changing their shot or making straw man arguments and sounding stupid. And what I'm noticing is a lot of people are conceding a lot of points. We just talked about the last woman who I've seen a lot of them. I've seen at least 3 women, prominent content creators, say, "Oh, well, no, she can get a 6-figure guy. They're smart techie guys who aren't good with girls, who may be a little socially awkward, but they're probably good men who will be happy to get a woman that likes them and cares about them. And he'll probably be good to her and treat her right and work hard and provide for her." Oh, so you're circling back to the educated lame argument that you disagreed with 2 years ago. Okay. So bare minimum, see they changing their shot. For those that don't know what it means to change your shot, it's like, remember when LeVar Ball came to the NBA and he was shooting that side winding shot, and somebody told him, "No, you got to get, y'all can't see me, hold on." and then somebody had to tell him that you got to get your elbow in, got to get your hand underneath the ball, you got to shoot, so he ain't shooting like a damn. I don't even know how to. Nobody, little kids cock it from back here. I never see nobody cock it from back here. That's just some weird stuff. But he had to change his shot. We're making them change their shot. They're still shooting. They're still in the game, but they're changing their shot. And that's important. And that matters. Because now the only thing on the Jumbotron is niggas ain't shit and women are overqualified for these niggas. Now that's not, because of Kevin Samuels, that's not the only thing on the Jumbotron. We got something up on the Summer Jam screen now. So even if you disagree with him on the small, fine details, to not see him going viral, spitting some red pill truth, in the world seeing it, if you don't think that's a good thing, then you're somebody who just I don't know what you want. I can't make heads or tails of that one. If you Eagle Eyes in the building, what's going on? He says the entitlement is scary. Absolutely, 100%. And my man, the great LAR in the building, he says we date the women that the Russians told us to. RBR. Had to do my RBR impression on that one. He said, "Yeah, man." Yeah. Get out of there. Leave RBR alone. Oh, shit. Solo TV 84. Don DeMarco. Okay. I had to do that. Man, I told you, man, quit super chatting me over here. I'm not even a man of my word right now. I said that $20 you sent me, I said I was sending it back to you. I told you your money's no good here, and I didn't even keep my word. I've been waiting to catch you live so I can super chat it back to you. I'm going to have to cash app it to you. But, man, whenever you're ready, I'm honored. I'll be honored. Whenever you're ready. My email is in the about section. Or hell, I'll email you when I get off the air. That is what's up. That's what's up. But shout out to Solo TV 84 in the building. I'm not going to talk. Well, I shouldn't even bring it up, but I did catch something that you said. It's funny as hell, and I hope you do it because I caught you after you uploaded. Because I for some reason I never catch you. I don't even think I get your notifications no more. I just catch you after it's uploaded, like a day or two old. I don't get you. I gotta go bang the bell or something or hit all or something. I don't know. I never see you live, but I saw one of your streams after it was uploaded, and you said you're gonna do a show called Becky and Me. I shouldn't even repeat it. I don't want nobody to steal it. That's gonna be a classic with the way you described that. So yeah, I'm waiting on that one. I'm waiting on that one. Shout out to Solo TV 84. Man, I'm trying to get back to the video. But y'all coming through with the super chats. A lot of y'all distracting me, but they good distractions. David Johnson back in the building. He says we gotta step up to support Kevin more now than ever because everybody's watching. This is not the time to fold. Press on with the full blitz. Right on, David Johnson. Right on. I'm with you.
But if your ass worked at the post office, you would not think so highly of your opportunities. And that's the reality. Men don't care about your money. Not the kind of men that you want. We don't care about your money. It ain't ours. We care about the fact that you are older and you got kids. And you're average. And your reality of your life has showed you that. You don't have the kind of men that you want knocking on your door trying to find you.
That's another key thing that they don't hear in no other space. The reality of your life has shown you that you're average. No, they're lied to and told they're above average and they should expect more than what they're getting. And the reason that they're not getting it because it ain't enough men out there that could provide it. And that's partially true because we know the mathematics and statistics of what they say they want. It's only a small percentage of men who actually make that amount of money. But the fact of the matter is that they're not told the reality of your life does not line up with what you're saying that you expect or deserve. We see articles like, why aren't black women getting the love they deserve, and all kinds of stuff like that. When did you give yourself permission to be beautiful? When did you do, there's a pandemic of overqualified black women. That's the type of stuff that they get fed with. They're getting fed with the reality, albeit harsh reality, but reality. But that's a problem.
See, what we've done in this country, this world, is we've told women like yourself that you can have it all, and you got a Prince Charming who's 6 foot, 6 feet tall, 6-figure income, jawline, all this other kind of stuff. And I'm sorry, man. No. Most people get average people, especially average people. And you're an average person. I mean, let's be real. You're not running Microsoft. You got a pet grooming business. You've been making 6 figures for the last 3 years. Okay.
I don't feel good saying this because you can't judge. It's like you can't judge, but you can. I've encountered some people, listening to them talk, I didn't think they were very intelligent or had what it takes to actually, be as successful as they were, but some people have surprised me. So maybe she fits in that category. But the way that she thinks, the way that she don't, is like when he say stuff to her, it's like she not quick processing it. It's like it's like when people like that don't come off as somebody who has the knowledge, the intelligence, and the business acumen to run a 6-figure business consistently for the last 3 years. She just don't come off like that. So I kind of don't believe it. But there are plenty of people that have proven me wrong, who I thought I was smarter than. But then when I scratched beneath the surface on this individual, I was like, whoa, they kicking ass in life. I need to sit down and learn from this person. So that's a possibility too. There are plenty of people that have surprised me, but you can tell a lot about a person by how they talk. To quote Sam Harris, listening to someone talk, that's the best way that you can. Listening to somebody talk, you're essentially listening to them think out loud. If they're just speaking uninterrupted off the cuff, you're listening to them think out loud. So you're hearing how their brain clicks and works and processes information and spits information back out. So you can tell a lot about somebody's intelligence and their just overall ability by how they talk, by how they communicate. And that's why if you go and you're about to have somebody do your finances or do your taxes, or if you hire some business professional to do an audit on something in your business, and you want them to look at something, and they show up and they're talking like, okay, so what I was saying, like, you gotta yeah, it's like, what, nigga, you ain't balancing my budget over here. So when I see her here, 6-figure pet grooming business, I listen to her talk, I'm not hearing somebody who just reeks of that kind of intelligence. Not that you got to be that intelligent to run a pet. You don't got to be that intelligent to run a pet grooming business, but of people that run pet grooming businesses, I guarantee those that make 6 figures 3 years in a row are among the intelligent pet grooming business owners. You could be a dumb, like, for example, like, you could be a dumb carpenter. If you know how to put two boards together and swing a hammer, drive a nail into the wood and build something, set something up, set it up here, set that down. You know, you can follow directions. After somebody tells you what you need to do, you need to board this up. You need to use this flat bar and get the nails out so you can pull this window out. Then we're going to put this window in, and we're going to nail this and nail it. You know, you could be a carpenter. Like, it don't take that much intelligence to do that. But there's a difference between that carpenter and the carpenter who's handed the 100-page blueprint and could in an empty lot of land, and he got to look at the blueprint and do the estimation on how much everything is going to cost. And after he does the estimation on how much everything is going to cost, he got to go to Home Depot and Lowe's and buy everything down to the last nail that's needed for the job. It just swings.